Welcome back to Plague Scythe Studios, everyone. Today I'm extremely pleased to be bringing you Frederik Thordendal Signature 33 pedal built by Mike Fortin. The 33 pedal can essentially be described as Meshuggah in a box, but its tone capabilities isn't actually its only trick up its sleeve. It's a really simple pedal. There's one knob and one button. When you engage the pedal, it does a couple of things. So one, it will allow you to engage up to 22 decibels of clean boost, which would be right here on the single knob. It rolls off the bottom frequencies of your guitar, and, which is a really cool feature here, it also allows you to change the channel on your amp. That way, if you like the clean sound on your amplifier, with one switch you can change to your extremely overdriven sound and back and forth to a non-overdriven clean channel, which I think is a really nice feature. Now, some of you may know this is a more recent technique that a lot of modern metal amps feature, where you take off the bottom end of a guitar, add a lot of clean boost, and then you add the bass back later in the preamp of the amplifier. And that gives you a lot of clarity, that gives you a lot of bottom end without being muddy on your 7th or 8th strings or really down-tuned 6th string. This basic functionality can be seen in amplifiers like Randall Satan, Randall Thrasher, and of course Mike Fortin's own Fortin Natos with the high gain and low gain separate knobs. With this pedal though, you'll be able to achieve that Mike Fortin signature gut punch sound in front of about any tube amplifier. Makes a Boogie Dual Rectifier, Marshall JCM 800, you'll get the gent in a box out of this thing. So a lot of you out there are probably thinking, well, insta buy for me, it's Meshuggah in a box. I can sound like that modern gent tone that everyone is trying to achieve nowadays. So what's the problem? Well, number one, it is a boutique style pedal, and I really don't like that word boutique. It gets overused a lot. But Mike Fortin, definition of boutique. He is one guy who builds amplifiers out of his house, builds pedals out of his house, and everything he makes is either extremely limited in run or made to order. And we're not talking cheap stuff. That Fortin Natos I mentioned earlier is actually a $5,000 USD amplifier because they're all handmade by one guy. Same deal with this pedal. And similarly, this pedal clocks in at a price of, at least right now, $233.33. It is usually going to be $245, but for its initial launch, they thought it would be funny to add a bunch of 33s in it because 33 and catch 33 and all that fun stuff. Makes sense if you're a Meshuggah fan. If not, you're going to be extremely lost. So the question becomes, does it make sense to spend $233 on a single pedal whose functionality is so simple? Moreover, what makes a pedal like this with one knob worth it over something like Horizon Devices' Precision Drive, which has a whole lot of variables to play with and is very similarly priced? Even better, why is this worth it over Mike Fortin's own grind pedal, which comes in at about $20 cheaper? What's the difference? Well, honestly, besides the channel switching feature, I really couldn't tell you. This thing does give you another couple decibels of boost, but as far as I know, the grind pedal also does dial back off of the bass and performs a very similar function as this. So as far as I'm concerned, this is probably just the grind pedal with a couple filters, a couple tweaks to Frederik's specifications that make this the Meshuggah signature, since they did work on their own signature amplifier through Mike Fortin as well. It does make sense they would do a type of overdrive pedal, even though this is a clean boost. Start getting into some loose terminology here, so I will be referring to this as both. But regarding the proposition value of this pedal, I don't think it's really smart to look at this from a purely financial standpoint, and that kind of carries over on a lot of boutique type gear. This is something that I absolutely love, and if and when I do own a real tube amplifier, I will be burning this thing up, but for now it does work really well for if I'm just practicing through my existing solid state equipment, my preamp pedals, what have you. It's a fantastic little pedal to have for that sort of thing. But another knock against its overall price to performance, I have been able to profile this extremely accurately in the AX8. I've not gotten 100% tone match out of it when A/B testing, but it gets the same effect when overdriven on an existing amplifier. So for those of you that do have an AX8 or a Helix or something like that and would like this functionality, do stay tuned because I'll show you how to get it very soon. So say all of that to say that I didn't just buy this because I thought it was going to be the best feature set for the price. Like I said, I feel like with the existing equipment I have and some of the other things out there, you're probably going to be able to get more tonal capabilities for your money. But number one, I'm a huge fan of Frederik Thordendal. Number two, I'm a huge fan of Mike Fortin. So to be able to own something that they collaborated on and that Frederik is actually using on tour is absolutely amazing to me. I've always wanted to own something by Mike Fortin, and now that it's basically Frederik's grind pedal to his spec, I couldn't be happier to own something like this. But also speaking practicality wise, I do really like the simplistic feature set of just turn one knob and you get a little bonus foot switch there as well. So it is expandable with anything I do add to my current real rig. If I get a head for my cabinet there, I'll definitely be able to use it in that situation. But I don't think if you're interested in this pedal, you're interested because this is going to be the best value per dollar. I did see a lot of comments on certain review videos when this pedal first was announced saying, who would pay that much money for just a clean boost? That's all it does. You can get the same thing with another mass-produced pedal. You really can. Matter of fact, if you pair it with a PEQ pedal beforehand, I guarantee you'll be able to almost exactly match what this pedal does. But you shouldn't buy it because of that. In the same way that you probably shouldn't buy a Soldano amplifier if you're looking for just a type of rectifier tone. If you are that concerned about value per dollar, there are plenty of options in the guitar world that will give you 99% accuracy of that sound you're looking for on a tenth of the budget sometimes. So it's not why I buy this, and I would not recommend this to the mass market because it is a boutique limited run pedal. There will be some day you will not be able to obtain that. And that's kind of the reason why I wanted one so badly, was because it is limited and it does have to do with two creative giants in the world of heavy metal guitar tone that I'm a huge fan of. So I love this thing. I don't think a lot of you need it. I don't really need it with my current stuff, but it's definitely something I wanted to have as a collector's item. And this definitely isn't your dad's overdrive. There's no doubt about it. I really think a lot of pedals going forth is going to be something like this. Even Horizon Devices' own precision drive, I'm fairly certain you can dial it back to where you don't color your tone as much. So I think it really boils down to, why would you spend so much money on a really nice tube amp when you're just going to be coloring it anyway with a $100 overdrive pedal? Doesn't it make a little bit more sense to just get your pure guitar tone and mess with the amp that you've spent so much money and so much time A/B testing to try to get the perfect tone out of? So I think this is a sign of things to come, and for that I think it's a great product. I just don't think it's great for the masses, and it shouldn't be. It's Mike Fortin. So awesome product. I'm really happy with it. I'm a proud owner of a Fortin device now, and like I said, it's Meshuggah in a box. The only thing I'm missing really is Lundgren pickups, and I'd be able to plug it in front of everything and get the Chaos Sphere or nothing sound out of it, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, I really like it. Just I would kind of hold out a little bit if you are wanting this functionality. Look for something else that can give you that sort of performance, that sort of tone sculpting in other areas. So if you enjoyed that, I sure have enjoyed playing with this thing, and there'll be some content featuring this pedal and the tone matches I was able to reproduce from this pedal on my AX8 coming up. So do stay tuned for that, and that'll be it. So appreciate you watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.